Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our Facebook posts, where we've been winding our way through the Noble Eightfold Path and kind of mining how the teachings of the Eightfold Path can be brought to bear on our lives, and particularly on the current pandemic situation. And we find ourselves now in the wisdom section of the Eightfold Path, wise view and wise intention. There are particulars to wise view, and in general, wise view is about seeing things clearly, just seeing how things are. And one of the ways that one can see clearly is to see how things come about in this world. Like, what actually happens when something arises? Where does it come from? And this is important because if we can see clearly the conditionality of things in the teachings, it's called dependent co-arising. If we can see what conditions give rise to certain things, then we can say, okay, let me support those conditions. Let me try to bring those conditions about. We can't control, which we've said in other posts, we can't actually control just what happens in any given moment. But if we know the conditions that are supportive for certain things to arise or not arise, if we want to avoid things, then we have something to work with, and we can decide to cultivate or not cultivate certain conditions. And this, of course, holds true for the pandemic. Certain conditions give rise to the virus forming, and in particular, certain conditions are supportive for the virus to spread and for the virus to not spread, to mitigate that. And why this is important right now is, while we kind of have a sense of what conditions are supportive to mitigate the spreading, and it seems to be working to some degree, there is this desire based on all sorts of things, whether it's fear, financial fears, or wanting to do the things that we can't do, that we've been used to doing, and want to get back to that. Basically desire and aversion. There are these forces based on these defilements that want to perhaps change the conditions. Like, let's stop with these conditions that we know support the mitigation of the spreading of the virus. And as in our practice, we don't want desire and aversion to be in the driver's seat, because when they are, lawfully, it brings about suffering. So we just find ourselves in a very interesting place right now with the pandemic, with you see desire and aversion from people creeping up and saying, no, let's change, let's actually stop doing, let's stop cultivating the conditions that are supportive to mitigate the spread of the pandemic. And of course, that would be a disaster and lead to a lot more suffering. And we want to be, watch for the fantastical thinking that can think that this could actually happen, that we could actually stop cultivating the conditions that are supportive for the virus not to spread and not have it spread, right? That's just fantastical thinking based on what we want. We want to get back to work, or we're afraid about our finances, or we want to start doing the things we want to do. When that is in the driver's seat, our minds are deluded and we have fantastical thinking. And of course, this plays out, everywhere else in our life too. our mind is deluded. Oh, I can have that second piece of pie and I'm not going to get an upset stomach. Why? Because wanting is in the driver's seat. We're not seeing clearly. So it's just a very interesting and crucial time right now for us to try to maintain clear seeing in terms of the pandemic and what's supportive of it. Not of the pandemic, but of mitigating its spread. And of course, one of the main ways that we support the cultivation of clear seeing is by looking at our own experience. This is one of the great things about the Buddha Dharma is we're not asked to take on some belief. We're not asked to engage in some kind of esoteric practices. What we're asked to do is simply look at our own experience in the moment, moment to moment, our own experience of body and of mind, and all the clear seeing we need will result from doing that. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's engage with that practice that we know is so supportive of looking at our own experience, the formal meditation practice. And settling into the position that you're going to do the practice in, whether it's standing, sitting, lying down, perhaps walking. And we connect with the intention that for this time, we're going to practice being present, starting with the body. Turning our attention to the body in the posture that it's in right now. Feeling where it's connected to the ground or a chair, floor, mat. Letting the attention at these contact points begin to reveal the energetic aliveness of the body that we feel as sensations. Pressure, warmth, hardness, softness, tingling, vibrating, warm, cool. These are direct, in the moment sensations that we feel that aren't a story about the body or how we want the body to feel, but simply the experience of the body just as it is in this moment. And we can invite the body to soften and relax. And we might notice as we soften and relax the body, how that supports the attention to relax. Relax right into an intimate connection with the sensations of the body. we can feel the sensations of the body and the posture it's in, and we can feel the sensations of the body breathing. Remembering the meditation technique that we are using in these posts is the shamatha practice, where the intention is to support tranquility and calm in the body and mind. Very helpful in these times. And so letting the rhythmic process of the in and out breathing and the sensations experienced in the body as the body breathes in and out, letting that naturally help the body to calm and settle. Cultivating this home base, this place where the attention can come to rest, and where we can invite it to come to rest at any time. Here in the formal practice, we are cultivating that ability. The ability to call the attention back to the present moment, using the sensations of body and breath as a touch point. As a touch point to stabilize the attention in the present moment, and using sensations of body and breath to help and deepen calm the body and mind. And so we can invite the attention back into the present moment at any time during our waking hours. Maybe just taking 3 breaths, allowing the attention to settle and rest with the present moment, with the sensations of body and breath. Doing that at different times during the day would absolutely be for one's happiness and well-being. Here in Massachusetts, where I live, we had a light snowfall last night, and there was snow on the ground this morning. And there could be this thought that I want the snow to go away. I don't like it. I want to walk outside with bare feet and not feel cold and wet. Well, that's fine. And the snow will melt when the conditions are supportive for it to, as it's doing. When the sun comes out, when the temperature gets above freezing, the snow will melt. And if one waits until that happens, and then the ground becomes dry again, one could walk outside with bare feet and not get wet and cold. But one can't have fantastical thinking and say, I don't like this snow. I want to walk outside with my bare feet. I'm going to do it now. And think that my feet won't get wet and cold. That's not going to happen. And so this pandemic and the virus in particular, it will mitigate, it will pass, it will change when the conditions are supportive for it to. We have to be very careful about demanding that it be different because we want it to be different. And so going forth in our lives, in particular with the pandemic, really bringing clear seeing in and seeing that there are particular conditions that will be supportive for what we want, and that we need to engage and support those conditions so that the results will be what we want. So I wish you well as you go throughout the day. I wish you much clear seeing. And I wish that based on that clear seeing, that your heart be present and open. Be well, and we'll see you next time.